doing? What's going on, friend? But yes, we are ready for our Terraria run. I have Haboo here with us. Is it Haboo? Am I saying your name correctly? I don't want to butcher it.
You are saying my name correctly, yes.
So, I'm gonna test Terraria. And I am ready whenever you're ready. If you want to count down, give an intro, whatever you need to get nice and comfy, to get some Terraria runs going.
Alright, well, as introduced, I am TheHaboo. I am more known for my Stardew Valley speedruns, but I do a lot of Terraria speedruns. I will be running the classic Moonlord No Major Abuses category. Normally, I do this without a seed, but to make this run a little bit more marathon safe, I'm going to be using a filter seed. I know the start of the world will be good, so that's basically the main thing. I have no idea what's in the world, so it's still random to me, but I just know that it's not going to be a garbage world. Other than that, Terraria is a 2D platformer bullet hell type game, so the goal is to kill bosses, and the goal of this specific run is to kill the final boss. There's going to be a big info dump at the start here, but that's just because of how Terraria is. But I don't really want to delay the marathon anymore, so I will be loading into the world. So if we're ready, I'm good to go.
Alrighty, go for it. I am here as an observer who never got far in Terraria because I found out I could dig stuff and it went straight downhill, literally from there.
Yeah, sounds about Terraria. All right. In 3, 2, 1, and we're off. So at the start of the run, the main two things that I'm looking for is mobility and money. Money will allow NPCs to move in, and mobility allows me to traverse faster. After all, this is a speed run. The best two things for that or the best thing for that is finding a pyramid. Pyramids can be found in the deserts. They generally have a mobility item, whether it's carpet or sandstorm in the bottle, and as well as a main starting cave over here, as you can see. I know this cave is going to get cut off pretty quickly because of the desert being on this side, because world gens in small worlds are generally about the same. You know where everything is. Desert and jungle are on one side, and then dungeon and I thought I saw a chest now. There. Dungeon and ice are on another. Because I know this is a filter seed, I kind of expected there to be a pyramid. So you can see this one, but sometimes they're buried under the ground a bit more, so they're a little bit harder to spot. I'm using the House Inquirer tool to figure out where the entrance is, so I don't dig down on the wrong side. I can do this by just looking at the text. Normally, when you hit a block with that tool, it will say, what does it say exactly? This is a solid block, but when you find a pyramid that has this opening, it will say this room is too big because you can't build rooms this big for NPCs. It doesn't like it. So you can find the entrance this way. We get carpet this run. I was hoping for sandstorm. I really like sandstorm more than carpet, but this is fine. I'm going to greed a little bit and just see if there is a conch at the very bottom here, as well as bombs, because I don't really want to have to chop down the trees. Destroying trees with bombs is a little bit better. So let me just hop down here, see if there's any pots. There is a pot. Maybe I get a scarab bomb. Nope. Okay, I'm not going to greed that bad. I'm going to be exiting the title and rejoining the world. This gets me to spawn so I don't have to walk back. There's a thing called recall potions in this game that will allow me to do that easier. So hopefully I won't have to continuously do that, but we will see. Next up is housing. We need houses for NPCs to move in. All NPCs have different requirements to move in. The housing requirements are all the same. It's just whatever items you have in your inventory. The first NPC to move in is basically always the merchant, and you need at least 50 silver in your inventory. This is why money is really important early on. Getting the 50 silver, and then specifically bombs as well, because the next NPC we want to move in is the Demolitionist. The Demolitionist will sell us bombs and grenades, which is probably the two most important things for a speedrun of this game. The housing requirements of this game are a little weird. Most people are used to having to build a little bit larger houses, as well as actually add background walls to houses. But There's no actual background wall requirement in this game for houses. You just need enough living space, a table, and a chair. The background wall requirement comes from the fact that you're not allowed to have an open area wider than 4 tiles. So generally speaking, it's like this is too tall. There's more than a 4-block gap of walls. So they can't move in, or it doesn't count as a valid house. But that nurse house, the house that I built on the very right, has blocks placed specifically to avoid that. So there's no gap larger than 4, allowing it for it to be a valid house. The other ones I place background walls in because NPCs can't actually move in unless if there's a background wall that is required for a check, but you can move them into the house manually without the walls. I did say it was a pretty big info dump to start off. Anyways, I'm making my way to the jungle. The jungle is, the jungle is the best place to acquire loot and money. While I had a good pyramid with 16 gold, I still need a little bit more money, and then I also want to gather more accessories and HP. Other than that, it's just going to be a little bit of spunking here, so if you have any donations or whatever, now it would probably be a good time.
Excellent. I was actually going to say we got a couple people that are coming in chat. First and foremost, thank you so much, everybody, for all the run blesses. You got lots of blessed runs, so everyone's cheering you on. I'm learning a lot just watching this because literally you hopped on a magic carpet, and I was like, I didn't know that was here. That would have been great. We do have a donation from Handstands for $5 saying, 1 ticket on the $5 dono train, please, going towards the Silent Hill incentive. So, chat, I feel like Handstands is challenging everyone. Can we get a $5 dono tray going? Actually, I can even sweeten the pot because I know Kofi starts you at like $3. What if we did a $3 dono train? And they don't even have to be the same incentives. I just want to see the train of donations come in. I think that would be a good time. I think that would be fun. But my idea of fun can be kind of skewed because I just like doing stuff like this and watching the runs and learning things. Because again, I didn't even know there was a magic carpet. I also didn't even know you could make houses. And you're talking about the house and I was like, oh, no wonder I felt like I didn't make progress. I don't think I built a single house.
They don't have high standards in this game.
I was watching you do all that and explaining it, and I was just like, wait, you can make houses for people? I literally just went around and started like beating up everything with first sword I found.
Yeah, it's pretty normal.
Oh, goodness gracious. So what exactly, are you just like digging for more stuff here, or what's going on in this current oh, that blew up.
Yeah, that's a bomb. So the jungle is generally very open and has a lot of loot. Again, I'm looking for more mobility and HP. These life crystals here that you see, if I use them, they give me 20 more permanent HP. I didn't use it right away because if I use it, then the nurse, who will be the next NPC to move in, will have higher priority than the demolitionist, and I value the demolitionist a lot more than the nurse right now. But since he is moved in, I can't just use that. Other than that, I use the spunker potion so all the ores and like resources light up. I found it in a chest, which is very nice. So I'm just gonna make my way around finding more stuff. Generally by now I would like to have recalled in a good paced run. The only thing is I'm being safe. I'm trying to find even more mobility, like Hermes boots. Those are very nice. I love when I get a bunch of these guys. These guys are probably the most deadliest enemy in the jungle right now, and there are 6 of them on my screen.
Oh.
For whatever reason, they thought it would be a great idea to make these guys, even on the easiest difficulty, poison for 40 seconds. And poison for 40 seconds is basically an instant kill at this HP.
I was gonna say, and 40 seconds is a long time to be poisoned, like in any game setting.
Yeah, I believe that is 80 points of damage, or 120. I can't math. It's 80 points of damage because 40 times 2 is 80. So yeah, it's a lot of damage early on. You can live with a health potion, but the contact damage is also 20, so it's technically a total of 100 damage just straight up. It's really annoying. They don't always poison for that long, but they can, and that's the issue.
Yeah, you don't want to risk that because even like, especially when you're talking about things that are based on like tables, RNG, anything of that nature, the safest bet I've learned over time as a Metroidvania and roguelike enjoyer, the correct answer, and even an RPG player, the correct answer is just don't even test it. Like, just don't see if maybe it might not be that long. Nah, just. But what if we didn't do it? Sounds like a better idea.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna pick this up. These are gems. This will give me a grappling hook, which is another great source of mobility, and I'm going to recall at this point. I spent way too much time in here, but I have essentially what I want. I have Hermes boots and essentially a double jump. Kinda not a great double jump. I don't like, carpet looks fun, but compared to the other option I could have gotten, carpet is not as good. So that's kind of why I'm kind of a little bit of a Debbie Downer about it. Other people in the speedrunning community may disagree with me and say carpet is fantastic. And yeah, it's better than nothing, but I'm going to complain about not having sandstorm. Sandstorm is just better. Anyways, now it's time for basically the second half of the first day. Getting down into the underworld as fast as possible. And what's the best way to do that? Explosives. So yeah, my goal is to get down to the underworld so I can fight the boss to make us go from normal mode, I guess, to hard mode, where the difficulty of this game ramps up. And we are going to be doing that within the first 20 minutes, so it should be fun.
And that's the fun dichotomy of it all, right? Is on one hand, you're here too long and you're doing too much. On the other hand, so I'm going to fight this boss in the first 20 minutes. GG, good luck, have fun.
Yeah. The boss itself isn't hard. It's the enemies in hard mode are so much worse than in pre-hard mode. I don't know why I call it normal mode. It's called pre-hard mode.
Really?
Yeah, pre-hard mode, hard mode. Wow, makes sense. I know, right?
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, we are going to be killing the wall of flesh very quickly here. I am really being safe with the HP. Normally, I would never go out my way for this HP, but, you know, 260, we're chilling. Anyways, we're just going to be dynamiting down, picking up a little bit more resources as we go. A little bit more inventory management. This game is a lot of inventory management. Your inventory gets filled with blocks, random junk, and it's just like, I wish I just didn't pick up some stuff, but you kind of just have to. I'm kind of lucky with the gold coin portal right there. The other thing that I'm looking for on my way down right now is obsidian, which you can hear and see right now. I need obsidian to be able to make a hellstone pickaxe to be able to get hard mode ore. I need this ore to be able to make a hard mode anvil later on. I only need one, so that is enough. And I want to get into this glowing mushroom biome because it generally has good loot. And even though I said I'm not going to loot that much more at this point, I'm still going to loot more because I am greedy.
It be that way sometimes. Besides, you never know what's in there. There could be some good cookies in there. Who says no to good cookies?
I'm very happy with the seed that was given to me, saying that it's already given me 3 featherfalls. Featherfalls are what I consider, and what a lot of the other speedrunners consider, by far the best potion in the game. It essentially gives you wings without having wings. It allows you to just slow fall, which is a very powerful tool. I'm only not using it right now because I want to keep a few for later. They only last 10 minutes, and this is about an hour-long run, so it's like I want to use it more in the later half of the run, so I'm not going to use it right now, plus carpet is good enough. But yeah, in a little bit I will switch to, I'll be using those and you'll see what I mean. If you've played Terraria before, a lot of people can't play this game without wings in hard mode. We don't get wings whatsoever in this run, we just use a featherfall because it's essentially just as good. Alright, we are in hell now, and I gotta wait for the lava to get out of my way because it's a little bit of unfortunate positioning. Granted, I could just face tank it. That's fine. Oh! Just get lucky. That is a rare drop. I was going to need the obsidian skin later, and I actually have the ingredients to craft it, but, you know, I can just get it from a pot drop, and it's just the same.
Love to see
All
that.
right, just because I want to show this off, a lot of people think that you have to get a guy voodoo doll and throw it into lava to summon the wall of flesh. Yeah, that's not the case, so I'm just going to delete that and show off how you actually do it in a speedrun. Because that's a rare enemy spawn, and the original way to actually fight the wall of flesh is to throw that in lava, which will spawn him. But there's a different method that I want to show off. Other than that, we're just going to be building a long bridge here to fight the wall of flesh. We're going to make it a little bit longer than what I normally do, and then we are going to be making something that kind of got a little popular at my GDQ run because a lot of people didn't know about it, called bed warping. Bed warping basically allows to set my spawn down here, while at the same time being able to return to the world spawn, which is just as powerful as it sounds in a speedrun. Essentially, I can have 2 spawns at once, and normally you can only have 1. This guy is not having a good time, and I'm not having a good time dealing with him.
I was gonna say he's been following you this entire time, and I was gonna be like, you need something, sir? What are you?
Oh, there it goes. This is why I don't like making the bed in hell, but I did not have the cobwebs, and I should still have the cobwebs, right? I definitely think that, yeah. It's just so many enemies spawn down here, and it's just easier to do it at the surface, as you can see. So many enemies. Place down the bed, set the spawn. I'm going to log after my spawn is set. This despawns all the enemies. Make this easier on me. Okay, you just immediately spawn. Thank you very much. Yeah, this game's fun sometimes. We're going to place the door, and we are going to invalidate. We're going to revalidate the house so I can move in the guide. We're going to invalidate the house, place a falling block, recall. That block is going to fall down and then revalidate the house. So the next time that I teleport or use a recall potion, I will be at the bed down there instead of at spawn where I am now. It is a very interesting trick, and it saves a lot of travel time. I'm going to spend all my money, and then we are going to make my way over to the dungeon. Because before we fight Wall of Flesh, we are going to fight Skeletron instead. Skeletron is a required boss in this game because we need to make room for cultists later on. Otherwise, it technically wouldn't be a required boss. But we also do not want to bet on a 1 in 2,500 drop chance to get the boss summon that we need for bones, which we get in the dungeon. Anyways, along the way, I'm going to be collecting some crimstone bricks. I'm going to need this to make a spawning platform later to farm for Souls of Light and Souls of Night, which is what I need for the boss summon. And I also want to pick up a few vertebrae, because vertebrae becomes a little scarce in hard mode, and it's much easier to collect now. I got 3, that's good enough. You need 6 total. You can get some in hard mode, but it's just a lot harder. The enemies that drop it at a 1 in 3 rate just don't spawn as often in hard mode. So that's why we try to get in pre-hard mode. It's generally a pretty big limiter on whether or not you get a good run or not.
I'm uncharacteristically quiet because I'm like literally just watching all this and absorbing it and just.
Yeah, it's a lot. Unfortunately, like, if you don't know what Terraria is, it's not a great, I call it not a great stream game because of it. It's like, you kind of need to know what's going on, otherwise it's very confusing. Anyways, this is Skeletron, the first boss we're fighting. This is going to be a pretty big common occurrence. We're going to be fighting the first 3 bosses with Dynamite. Dynamite just does a ridiculous amount of damage, and bosses on classic difficulty don't really move very fast, so it's very easy to land a bunch of hits on them. As you can see here, he kind of just floats and doesn't really attack. I did mess this up. You should be able to kill him in that rotation, but it's fine. I'll just nade him. And now the dungeon's open. If you try to go into the dungeon before you kill Skeletron, a big spooky, scary skeleton's going to come out and just one-shot you because, yeah, you're not supposed to be in here yet.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, in the dungeon, we need technically 2 things. We can get up to 4 if we get lucky. 2 of them are optional. We need 30 bones, and we need the mechanic. The mechanic will just randomly spawn. You'll see her just bounded up somewhere, hopefully soon. And then the other 2, I guess 5 things. The other 2 cool things, or 3 cool things you can find is an alchemy table, which will make potions easier. A bewitching table, which will make the end game a little bit faster. And then finally a Cobalt Shield, which is the one thing that I got, or one of the 2 things I got. The Cobalt Shield basically makes me immune to knockback, which is very nice. I see damage numbers over here, so I think the mechanic's over here. Could also just be the old chest, which would be annoying. It's a slime NPC if you actually save it. We're not going to save it. Sorry, Chippy. Oh, sorry, Chippy. But here's the mechanic. Mechanic sells a variety of cool goods that I will not be able to abuse yet, but once we get into hard mode, we will be abusing her a lot, or a lot of her items.
So when you say get into hard mode, is that like something that's gonna change in the middle of your like seed? Is that what's happening?
Basically, once you kill the Wall of Flesh, which is the boss to enter hard mode with, the world changes. There are 2 biomes that spawn in a V shape. One of them is the Crimson, which we saw earlier. It just gets a little bit more deadly, and a new biome called the Hollow, which is like the reverse Crimson, the good guys, quote unquote. Unfortunately, the good guys still want to kill us, so it's not really a good area to go into. That I need a few things before I go into hard mode. I did not want me to do that. As you can see, this trick is very powerful. I want to move her down and move her in before day comes, because as soon as day comes, I won't be able to move her in anymore. And I'm going to take a little breather to do a little bit of crafting before I go into hard mode, because I'm still missing a few things. I need water bottles to be able to craft potions in the first place. So I need sand, and then I also just want to take a quick break to organize my inventory because, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got a lot going on there. Like some of the stuff that you have in there, I do recognize from my little bit of time with it. And then there's other things that are just going so quickly in general that it's just hard to even see what's going on, period. And I think it's a good point that you brought up that if you don't play Terraria, then yeah, you're going to be looking at this and going, I have no idea what's going on. And chat, I have extremely limited experience in Terraria, and I have just enough knowledge to know what's happening. But again, I didn't even get to any bosses and whatnot because I just spent all of my time just digging straight into the earth, like Shovel Knight style, and beating up stuff and then just going and selling things. I didn't even know that houses were a thing. I just straight up was, you would think that you could put that together when you can make things like beds and other stuff. Nah, I literally just put beds in places so I didn't have to think. So I was just like, no, I don't feel like figuring this out. So that's what I'm going to do instead.
Okay, I think I'm fine now. I'm going to have to... Yeah. Actually, there's one more thing that I still need. And that is a lovely... Alright, so now this is the cool way of actually... Did I get... No, I got one more thing. I need water bottles. You can't craft potions without water bottles. And unfortunately, there's no water in hell, so I have to go back up. Anyways, this is the cool way to summon Wall of Flesh. Normally, you're supposed to throw the guy Voodoo Doll in lava, but if you just kill the guy in lava in hell, it spawns Wall of Flesh anyways. So it kind of just bypasses that. That was a new addition. I'm pretty sure the developers actually added that just for speedrunners, which is really cool of them. But yeah, more dynamite. Dynamite does way too much damage. Wall of Flesh does not have enough HP, and each dynamite can technically hit both segments, his eye and his mouth at the same time, doing double the amount of damage. So, yeah, Wall of Flesh is just going to die very quickly. This is kind of the most, like, iconic speedrunner fight, because a lot of people who've played Terraria at least know this strategy when it comes to Wall of Flesh. That said, he dropped technically the worst item that I could get because I do not need another weapon, or I don't need another gun because I will have arms dealer move in anyways because I have the handgun. But he can drop 1 of 4 weapons. 2 of them are useful. Breaker Blade is by far the best, followed by Firecracker. Clockwork is generally good if you don't have a gun for arms dealer to move in. And then the worst one is laser rifle. No one likes laser rifle. Mage just takes too long to get into. There's 4 different classes for this game. And unfortunately, Mage has the slowest start, so we never get to use any Mage weapons in a speed run. Takes too much time commitment to get into. Right now I'm looking for a Hellforge so I can craft a upgraded pickaxe. And unfortunately they spawn in these houses and they're generally quite common. But I'm getting a little unlucky here. Here's one. I'm gonna take that door. Just a doorway robber. I'm gonna need it for later. It's to make bed warping easier. It's a faster setup. And then we craft a molten pickaxe. I'm just going to that, a little bit more inventory management, and we're going to recall to this bed. And now I mentioned before that once you enter hard mode, there's going to be a few biomes that spawn. I was looking on my map for them. They spawn in a V shape, and they like basically go down into the underworld. Generally speaking, you got to go into these biomes to farm what we call Souls of Light and Souls of Night. And fortunately, because they go all the way down to hell, and right now the entire world is in hard mode, so a lot of harder enemies spawn. Hell is actually the safest place to be, because as soon as you enter hard mode, the enemies in hell do not get any stronger, which is very funny. So that means, yeah, safest place to be. I do not have a chest. I'm normally supposed to have a chest right now. Oh well, I have everything I need for it, at least. Can we stop getting spawns like this?
I did want to take a quick moment to say welcome on in to the Raiders from the Algorithm. I hope you all had a fantastic day. I hope you had a wonderful stream. And thanks so much for coming by to Gabby's Boston Fun. It's greatly appreciated. Oh yeah, they're bullying you. Like why?
He's a friend. They are interesting. He is doing an interesting challenge. As I said, I'm more known for my Stardew Valley thing, but he is doing a challenge in Stardew Valley where he's trying to collect 999 of every stackable item in the game.
Oh God, why?
Yeah, he's quite unique. Other than that, to continue with the run, I'm making something that we call this is basically our Souls farm. I'm making a spawning platform down here for a bunch of enemies to spawn on, and then I'm going to be going, can we not get you to spawn, please? Oh, I thought you were going to fall down. I'm going to go up here, far enough out of range for enemies to spawn on that platform, and then I'm just going to throw dynamite down, as per usual. Chests make blocks invincible, so even though I throw dynamite, these 2 blocks aren't going to blow up, and I placed all the blocks slightly outside of range. I'm going to run before this guy ends me.
You know, I looked away to add some reminders that we are taking donations for Gabby's Boston Fun. !donate in chat to donate to Ko-fi, but also make sure that when you donate that you add in what incentive you want it to go towards. !incentives. For the incentives we have a UFO ending for Silent Hill. We also have a bid war for Saw the Game, the Truth or the Freedom ending, and all donations will be going towards our ultimate goal of Metroid Dread by the end of the day. There was a lot that went on, but I saw that you went ahead and exit and re-entered because, yeah, they were getting a little spicy.
Yeah, I was scared of dying, and I really didn't want to die, so I relogged to despawn every enemy. I'm also now placing background walls behind me. Generally, I don't want to do this. Him! Why? I'm going to use a return spot just to They didn't despawn. I wasn't far enough away. This is devastating. Tim, don't you move. Tim, stay there. Okay, now that I hit him, he won't shoot bullets. Enemies that shoot through the walls are very scary. Because I am kind of just holed up in a hole. Can't really do much.
Yeah.
Just trying to throw nades down and farm souls of light. The issue with logging all the time to despawn enemies is if I log, all the items just disappear. So it's like a balance of like, generally speaking, you just don't want to log. And you just pray that you get a actual weapon from Wall of Flesh to be able to kill everything. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So I have nades, and it is not fun.
I think it's like trying to get back at you for all the good luck that you had at the start of your run, because it's like, oh, here's some great mobility, here's some other items, we got our merchant set up, and they're just like, hold the weapon.
I'm just going to kill those guys. Recall. I don't think it's gonna instant despawn everything, but it's gonna get close enough. A lot of damage. I need that. I want that vertebrae.
I'm so sorry. It's just the focus came through so strong because it's like I want the vertebrae, and the precision nade throw at that flying axe just sent me because he came at you. You just went nope. I'm so sorry. That was amazing.
Terrified. I was not aiming for that axe, but you know what? It was cool anyways.
Oh my god, that was funny.
I still don't have the vertebrae, and I'm upset. I really want that vertebrae because I need 6 of them, and I only have 3. And enemies just keep spawning right where I want them to be. Give me this vertebrae. Ah, got it. Okay, don't care. All right, because it spawns on a V shape, I know that the hollow is on this side, so I'm just going to continue to the left here until I get to the underground crimson area, and then we're going to unfortunately attempt to do the same thing, but only faster this time, and hopefully I won't get as unlucky. Looking for a good area to do this. You generally want a pretty open area to be able to do this. This is good enough. And more golden time. Yeah, the main reason I didn't want to die is because I have a builder's pot, and you build so slow in this game without a builder's pot. So, yeah, dying is bad. Also, you just lose a bunch of time for dying, so yeah, dying is bad. I didn't bring the chest with me. I generally pick up 2 chests, but there wasn't any, there wasn't very many ground chests, which is the general chest type that I pick up when I am playing the early game. There's not a lot of common chests in this game, unfortunately. Or in this world. Isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's more of an inconvenience. I built this in a terrible spot. Because that lava will drain down right where I don't want it to be. So I'm just gonna scooch this over a little bit, and we're going to try this again.
So while you're building, I wanted to ask a question. So you were trying to get a lot of loot earlier, and then I saw in some of the earlier locations in Hell specifically, there was maybe 2 or 3 chests that I think you purposely did not go after. Is it just because you have most of the stuff that you need at this point, or?
Unfortunately, those are shadow chests, and they're locked behind having a shadow key, which you would have to get in the dungeon. And unfortunately, when I opened up the 2 dungeon chests, I did not roll the shadow key, so I can't open them. The axe back.
Oh no, not this again.
This is why the background walls is nice. The only issue with the background walls is the fact that the one enemy in hard mode that can spawn vertebrae can't spawn vertebrae anymore. Also, I got all the souls of night, and I got all the vertebrae I need, right? So I put the other vertebrae in the thingy.
No, so yeah, I just saw something that said like vertebrae 3, and I know you were before it like.
Yeah, I have exact. Let's go. We're done with this. Get me out. Get me out. Yeah, this is a pretty slow run. We're gonna move Nurse into that house, and hopefully Arms Dealer will move in. And then I'm going to be buying a few things. Doing a little bit of organization because I can. And then I'm going to make my way back over to the Crimson, and we're going to be destroying stuff called Crimson Altars. These altars, when destroyed, will spawn in what we call hard mode ore. It can be... There are three tiers of hard mode ore. There's 2 types of each, so it's either cobalt, palladium, mithril, or calcium, titanium, or adamantite. We want cobalt and we want mithril. The reason is because we're not using them for any weapons, so I don't care which things I get, nor armor. We're just going to be using them to make a single drill upgrade, so we can actually mine tier 2 ore, and then we're going to be using the tier 2 ore to make a tier 2 anvil, or a hard mode anvil, is what you can call it. And we got palladium. I wasn't actually reading what the other one was. Unfortunately, every time you break an altar, a race spawns, so there's just a bunch of these guys. They're a little wonky with how they pass, so as long as I'm above this cavern, they're just gonna stay down there. Harvest a few of these, and before that guy comes down here and wrecks me, I'm just going to leave. Where are my smoking potions? I need those. Honestly, it is Featherfall time. So, as I mentioned earlier, the Featherfall is probably the best potion in the game. I'm de-equipping Carpet because it kind of has counter synergy, and once you have Featherfalls going, Carpet becomes useless. That's why I love Sandstorm, because Sandstorm is great with Featherfall. But it allows you to slow fall. It doesn't let you take fall damage anymore, and you can just essentially hover in the air, and it allows for one of the quickest mobility techs that we have in the game. It has a very interesting name that I don't really want to get into why it was named this, but yeah, Chicken Teriyaki is a very great movement option in this game. Don't ask why we named it Chicken Teriyaki. I really don't want to explain it.
No, that's very valid and fine. We just have to live with the fact that probably someone in chat right now is going to realize that they haven't eaten today, and then that's going to be the onset of a whole different issue for some. Yeah.
Not my issue.
Yeah, I would say I ate before we got started today because I had a thinking ahead, which is rare for me. Usually I'm eating in the middle of the
No, I'm sorry. This Mimic, did he despawn? No, I really want to kill this Mimic because he can drop one of the best items in the game. And he was falling down, and I did not want him to die on me, or despawn on me. No, I got the wrong item. I'm sad. I thought it was the cross necklace for a second. I'm actually sad now.
Oh, I would say it's being mean to you. It's trying to make time for people to actually put in some donations, though. That's what that is. It's like we need to extend this as much as possible so we can hit that $2,500 by the end of the day. How can we extend the run? And they're like, take everything. Hold everything immediately, if not sooner.
All right. Well, now we get to see the chicken teriyaki strat. Essentially, when you have the feather fall, you get the slow fall. And that includes while in a minecart. So you can get up to a very high speed with a minecart and then kind of just fly with it. I'm just going to look at this chest real quick. Sky Islands get in the way with this strategy a bunch, but it's fine. So we kind of just go wee a lot. And this allows us to get to the edge of the world in a very short amount of time, which is, yeah, pretty great.
Imagine being a bird, minding your business, doing bird stuff, and then you look up and there's just a human in a minecart that flies past you. Because you know no one's going to believe you if you say that, right?
Yeah. The reason we're going all the way over here is because on the side of the jungle is something that was newly added to the game in the most recent update called Shimmer. Shimmer is a very interesting liquid in this game. Oh, there's a turtle. I don't like this. I wanna relog. 160 damage. This is why we don't like hard mode.
That's brutal.
I've had runs with that much HP up until this point, and it just... we love turtles.
Oh.
Hopefully another one doesn't spawn at this point. So yeah, it is very easy to find on a small world. It is on the same side as the jungle, and if you just go to the edge of the ocean beach and then just dynamite down, you'll find it basically every time. That dynamite is spooking me. So yeah, that is what I'm finding right now. I'm also looking for more mithril on the way down because I didn't find any in my elevator. So when I don't find any in my elevator, I just end up going to Shimmer and praying that I just find more on the way down. As you can see, I found Shimmer really easily. And hopefully more mithril. I need 40 total. This does look like we're gonna Night 3 mechs, which are probably going to be made fun of later for getting a Night 3 mechs in a basically a seeded run. But you know what? It's fine. It's a marathon. It's perfect cause. Once we get the mithril, we are going to be building a Shimmer setup and hopefully not playing to the mass amount of enemies that is coming my way. Even a spider. This Shimmer setup is basically going to work the same way as the Hell's setup in... Actually, I'm going to log the despawn thing here. Yeah, it's basically going to be another bed warp setup, but with the added benefit of being able to throw stuff in Shimmer, because again, Shimmer is a interesting liquid that allows you to craft, decraft, and change specific items. So it's like these iron anvils I bought from the merchant, I'm gonna throw them in here, and it is free iron ore, which I need. Or free iron bars, which I'll need for crafting. I can throw danger sense to decraft all the potion ingredients to get different potion ingredients. So I'm just gonna throw all this in real quick. And as you can see, it gets crazy fast with how much stuff you can pick up. So now I have the next 3 bosses summons already, which is the mech bosses, and then I'm going to upgrade my minecart so I can actually go faster. I'm going to craft a few potions here. The reason I'm doing this is because I know I'm not going to get Night 3, so I can kind of just... I have a bunch of time before I have to do anything right now. Honestly, I should just be sleeping and doing the crafting. So we have a little bit of time. It's going to be... It's almost the end of... Actually, I have a little bit of time. I am all over the place right now. Still night. We have a little bit of time. I'm going to go up and check. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Leave me be. I want to kill Destroyer real quick. The issue is since I'm on the left side of the world, unfortunately, or since Terramo's on the left side of the world, it is really annoying to do Destroyer there, because for whatever reason, blocks spawn out of bounds on the... Oh, I thought I screwed that up.
I was gonna say you had that freeze of time, and so I actually was holding my breath for a second. I was like, oh no.
I thought I messed that up, but I'm fine. I'm hallucinating.
Oh no, not this. But you were saying something about blocks spawning on the left side of the world.
Yeah, they spawn out of bounds on the left side of the world, and for what we want to do Destroyer with here, we basically want no blocks. I am doing this in the absolute worst order possible. Okay, there we go. So I'm just measuring the distance that I have to go up to be able to do this. And once I'm up here, I'm going to throw dynamite down onto the one indestructible block. Since there's no other block around me, Destroyer is forced to spawn on those given blocks. basically allowing Dynamite to hit every single one of his segments all at once, doing a boatload of damage, essentially instant killing him.
Oh, we love that.
So yeah, that was a boss. Hard mode boss, just dead instantly.
I was like,
But at this point, we're going to be doing a little bit more shimmering. I'm going to be crafting and decrafting this lance a lot until I get a good reforge. This is the great thing about shimmer. Again, you can just craft and decraft a bunch of stuff until you get what you want. And at this time, I already have the warrior emblem. You can get one of 4 different types of emblems from Wall of Flesh, and they all like help the 4 main classes. We want the warrior's emblem, and since I got it, I don't have to roll it, because you would just throw it in shimmer and it goes to the next one, goes to the next one, goes to the next one. So it's generally a big time waste, but it's fine. I'm getting really unlucky on this. Heartful. I would go with Heartful. It's generally good enough for a run, but I kind of want better, and I have a lot of time here, so I don't really care. Yeah, my voice needs a break. If you have any like donations, now is a good time. I'm just gonna be re-rolling this.
No, that's perfectly fine. I do want to throw out some reminders.
Yeah, we have a lot of time now.
Yeah,
you're good for a while.
No, that's very, very fine. I want to throw out some kind of reminders for everyone. Oh, although I think this is something that just happened. We have a donation for $10 from Sean H, and I know who that is. I know who you are. Thank you for coming out and supporting Gabby. Says, hoping that Boston gives you everything you want and need. Incentive-wise, okay, time out. SJ, I know you're in chat, so I get to yell. So for everyone's context, I'm going to yell at SJ because SJ is one of my mods. Hi SJ, it's PT. I'm off for the month, but I still get streamer yelling privileges. The $10 by default goes to Metroid Dread. So unlike previously, you don't have a choice. You have to pick a different incentive. It'll go towards Dread by default. So the other incentives that we have open is Silent Hill UFO ending, which is at $88 of 300. And then we also have the bid war for Saw the Game, the Freedom ending, or the Truth ending. Now, I'm not going to yell at anybody else in chat like that. SJ gets special treatment because he, I guess, technically works for me. I don't like saying that because mods are doing a thankless free 99 job unless you have like 8 billion CCB. But nonetheless, SJ, you have to put that towards something else. It goes to Dread by default. But thank you so much for your $10 donation. And then that also kind of covers all the incentives and reminders that we are raising money for Blackheart Wings Boston Fund. Now, you said you was going to take a long time, but it looks like you're already moving forward.
Yeah, I'm not moving forward. So okay. I got a rare, like, 1 in 20 solar eclipse spawn, and I have no way to sleep during it because it prevents you from being able to sleep. So, yeah, we're kind of just going to have to wait out the entire day before I can do anything because I need it to be night, and I can't sleep anymore. That's why I said we have a lot of time. So during this time, I'm just going to explore the jungle, try to find maybe a few more items, open up an area that I need to go into later and just make it accessible. So I'm kind of just doing, like, minimal tasks that I would never do in a normal speedrun at this point to just buy time.
No, it's perfectly fine. That's very, very fine. And SJ came back in all caps, so that's fine. We will get your $10 put towards the Silent Hill 3 incentive. But that's what I was going to say is that we just have lots of reminders, lots of updates, and just letting people know that we are raising money for a really good cause. This isn't going to be a charity fundraiser for like a charity organization or a 501c3. This is mutual aid. This is directly helping Blackheart Wings with their Boston Fund. And I want to kind of emphasize why that makes a huge difference, because this is helping someone that you love to watch, you love to engage with, someone that many of you consider a friend, move into a better living situation. I want to make sure that that's abundantly clear, and especially since we're using Kofi, so she will get the overwhelming majority, if not all, maybe all, no, overwhelming majority of the proceeds that are coming in for this. So please, please, please make sure that you are donating. And then let's see what chat's talking about too, because Spin Their Yarns is just kind of chilling to the music and whatnot. What you saying, SJ? Jokes aside, feel free to throw me on the UFO. Yeah, we'll get you taken care of for the Silent Hill 3 incentive. If the producers are over yonder listening, and I know that they are, because the producers, can we get love in chat even for the producers? Because this is also all volunteer basis. Like, everyone putting this on is doing fantastic work, doing great jobs. Like, they're running a full-scale event right now. And this is no small or easy feat by any stretch of the definition. Because there's just there's a lot going on. There's production, there's like the scheduling, there's the hosting aspect, there's everyone trying to keep everything in place. So please give some love to them at some point amongst all of this. Is that a piece of dynamite that you just put there, or is that just a flare?
No, that's a flare.
I got really scared for a second. I was gonna be like, wait, you can't just be dropping dynamite and then casually being like, let me dig for a second. I also love that we've got this nerd above you who's just stuck in geometry. Like, what are you doing, weirdo? But I digress. Goodness gracious me. So, let me see what else we have going on in your chat. I haven't even really listened to the music in Terraria like that either, because this is the type of game that, like, when I say I went on autopilot, I went on autopilot. I was like, nothing matters besides dig. Cool folks don't look at explosions. I mean, you're not wrong. Also, go eat, because I saw you haven't eaten lunch yet. I don't care if you had late breakfast. Go get your food. Go get food. Again, I'm yelling at one of my mods. Please ignore any type of sassiness that's coming from my general direction. Is that? Are you poking that man with a stick?
Yeah, it's the jousting lance. You're gonna have a fun time later if you haven't seen this item yet.
I've never seen the joust.
This is the goat. This is the most goated weapon in the game right now.
Oh my god! Like, it's just, I feel like it's just so large. I just looked down.
Yeah, its hitbox is a little buggy.
Oh no!
It's real. It's a interesting item.
Oh, so I actually have a question while we're kind of still poking around and doing stuff as well. So when you were walking in there was a point that you warped back to the top of the world at the spawn point, and then you were running to the right, and the background had eyeballs on it. Why? Why were there
A
eyeballs?
common enemy in the game is an eyeball, so they kind of just appear in the background. It's kind of just eye candy.
I hate it. I hate it so much. You did not say eye candy. Not this. No.
I mean, it's technically what it is.
Hatred. This is not the way I wanted to be granted eyes. I hate it so much. I still just can't get past this justice stick.
I can't believe I got an eclipse. Like that's so infuriating that I got an eclipse. It is like a 1 in 20 spawn, and generally speaking, it would instant kill any like normal attempt because it's like you can't do anything about it.
So what exactly happens or goes on during an eclipse for those who don't know?
A lot of enemies spawn. It's a day event. A lot of enemies spawn, and I have no way of killing them, and they would basically just instant kill me. So I have to wait until the next day. And generally speaking, when you sleep, it speeds up time by like 8 times or whatever. Or 7 times. Yeah, I can't do that. So I have to wait the entire like 11-minute day, or no, it's like a 14-minute day. Just like waiting this out, which is really annoying. Fortunately, I still had a few things to do. I explored a little bit of jungle and unlocked the jungle temple, which I'll need later. So I would have had to have done this dig eventually, so I can kind of like do that. I was looking for a few more accessories, specifically pharaoh claws, and I can do a little bit more crafting still. I want to throw the bucket in here. I can do a lot of the potion stuff as well. It's like, I'm not totally dead in the water, but yeah, it's kind of just a,
It's just
we're waiting.
Well, I do have another donation that just walked in from the Legend of Lexus for $10. I wish you the best of luck on your new journey and hope it's a peaceful transition for you. Lots of love, Lexus. And Silent Hill incentive, please. So yeah, we're still working towards that. We're almost, I think we're gonna break $100 with that one specifically. I'm not, yeah, okay, I can pay attention. I can math. I am good. I am the designated math gay, so I have to be able to keep up with this. This is actually stressful too, just looking at all these enemies that are here. And when you say 14
we're
minute
about
day,
halfway over with the eclipse.
so then you meant that's like an actual 14-minute period. Like that's a real time 14 minutes for the day.
Yeah, it's really annoying, and that's why I said it instant kills most runs. And it's like, it's not something I'm going to account for because it's like a 1 in 20 chance on the day cycle. So there's only one opportunity, one in 20 chance for it to ever happen in this run.
Okay,
and it happened.
And then you'll have better knowledge for this for people who are asking in chat. Just, yeah, because they're talking about it might have also been the Crimson. It was probably the Crimson. But then, is it accurate to say that you're about halfway in this run, or?
I'm over halfway. I'm going to immediately look up where bulb is just to save time because of this. But it's like with a good bulb, it's probably about like 20 minutes from this point.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tight on time just because of this. It's like I literally just lose like 14 minutes because of this. It's really annoying.
Yeah, that's brutal. And then yeah, Sella says was pointing out, I was like, remember that time we picked a good seed?
It has nothing to do with the seed. It's just a random occurrence. There's nothing around this, and it's annoying.
Yeah, because I remember you said at the beginning too that like you picked this seed for like a certain item or something or another, but the rest of it was gonna still be, for all intents and purposes, RNG driven. So yeah, the game really said, nah, your luck ends here. And all of these enemies are terrifying. Is that another mimic? That's in the oh, I think that man died. Oh, okay.
That's a chest thing. If I had a golden key, I could save a slime friend.
Oh.
This is like.
Oh.
I got hit by that guy, but didn't get hit by that guy. I don't think my HP went down, but at the same time, I got the bleeding effect. This is like unfortunately bad.
Yeah.
And I really don't know what else to do because it's like I could maybe explore a little bit of the jungle here, but it's like I'm just gonna look up where the bulb is, so I don't really need to explore.
Yeah.
Like, it's so unfortunate. There's nothing else to really say about it.
Yeah. And I mean, it is what it is because that's like the nature of RNG. I've had whole spiels and rants on my channel about RNG and the way that it works and how people get angry all the time. Not you particularly, but I mean just from a general standpoint. They get angry all the time because it'll be something like, especially with damage, it'll say, oh, it had an 80% chance to hit, so why did it miss? And it's like, because that's the nature of like probability and also RNG. Like, if it doesn't say 0 or 100%, just assume that there's a chance it'll happen, and when it happens, you have to respond accordingly. And this is definitely one of those moments too. And then someone is saying, this is worst case scenario, pirates would have even been better.
Yes. Like, pirates happen during the day instead of night, or yeah, also happening during the day. I think it's lower odds, but it's like with pirates, you just have to kill like 100 of them and then you're done, and then I can move on. But this, I literally cannot sleep. It is a time-based event that I have to wait the entire day for. It is the absolute worst case scenario. It's doomsday.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just like slowly waiting for it to be night. It's almost there.
I was say, yeah, you're getting there. Like, it's trying its hardest. It is trying its hardest. And so, are these people up here, what are these little bubbles and stuff that they got going too? Because I see like different icons showing up. The question one I think is a giveaway, but then other ones I'm not sure what they're doing. Are they just talking?
It's just, yeah, their dialogue. It shows that they're like trying to communicate or whatever. It's kind of just like visual.
I mean, that's something that we can kind of use some time to talk about, because I know you said it was even oh my god.
Yeah, that's a vampire, and I really should not let them kill my NPCs, because that would be bad. I was seeing how long I could stay up there to make it a little bit more interesting to show off the enemies, but yeah, I'm good. If the NPCs die, the run is not in a good spot.
Did you kill
the run is
Blackheart?
fine otherwise. We're in a perfectly acceptable spot if I just wait this a little bit longer.
Oh my god, what? But then, did you leave them up there with Dracula? Did you kill them?
The enemies despawn as soon as you leave screen. It's fine. They're fine.
Oh my god.
We can go say hi again and see if he spawns again.
Oh my giggles. Oh, everyone looks healthy. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. You was just minding your business shopping. Like, that's a whole conversation in itself. You ever?
Yeah, I gotta buy. Oh, he's back. Look at him.
Are you kidding me? Get out of here.
He's fine. Look, he's having a great time. Oh, no, never mind. Get away. I'm trying to do a little bit of shopping that I would have to do after the day is over, and that's why I keep going. So I'm buying wiring and teleporters. You could probably see where this is going and how I'm going to be fighting these next two bosses. Yeah, we have a lot of cheese for this game. And it involves rapidly switching between teleporter spots to be able to hit enemies with Lance at a very high speed, because this weapon build momentum to increase attack power. The faster you're going, the more damage this thing does. And oh, that's a mimic. Oh, I want to kill that. But
Oh no.
I want to kill that, but I don't really want to. I don't want to leave this place.
I was about to say, like, this is the greed player's bane. I want to kill this. I know I shouldn't, but I want to. You got potions, I'm sure.
I'm fine. I didn't get what I want, but I got something nice. Dual hook is nice.
It's like, this is fine. I can just drink a pot afterwards. It's no problem. Oh my gosh, this is no mare abuses.
It's almost night. All right.
We're
It's almost night. Just like
we're just finding all the other.
one more minute, cope. One more minute.
I was like, we at least got all of our errands for other items taken care of. You got to kill a mimic. We got to see Dracula. We got to watch people swim and shimmer and be awkward. So wait, is the chest over on the left side there? Is that a fake? Is that a shadow chest?
Yeah, that's a fake, but it's not a mimic. If you have a golden key, you can save it, and it'll like be an NPC slime. It's kind of cool. It's night. We can play the game.
We did it. We did it,
We
gamers.
waited so long. All right, now it's time to fight bosses.
Oh,
At
fantastic.
this point in the game, it is essentially a boss rush. There's no like really limit on us other than going to the next boss, fighting it, killing it, and proceeding to the next one. So we still need to kill 2 more mechanical bosses for plant terra bulbs to start spawning, and yeah, if you can see where this is going, that'd be great. I need to. I was gonna buy one other thing. Oh, I was gonna sell. That, and then I need to go back and remember to bring the anvil with me. The anvil allows me to craft something important during the fight. But yeah, a little bit of a seizure warning I must give. We are going to be vibrating back and forth on this minecart at a very fast rate and teleporting between these 2 teleporters at a decently fast rate. And as you can see, this lance hits for a lot of damage, like 400 a hit. And yeah, we're just gonna go back and forth between these so we don't get hit by the head, which does a lot of damage. And then we're just gonna go up, go down, go up, go down, go up, go down, go up. And yeah, this is how you kill mechanical bosses at a very fast rate. This is faster than basically any weapon that you can get at this point, and honestly, even most endgame weapons, this kills faster than.
I think my favorite thing is still the fact that I just see you standing in the top area and you're just poking this stick up above.
Yeah, alright, and with that, we're going to build a repeater so we can actually hit these guys. Because these guys, unfortunately, don't get as close as Skeletron Prime does.
I just didn't know that the bosses in Terraria were actually like just the cousins of Bloodborne. This is
Alright, hopefully with this I get to do fast retinazer. I mean, I can still do it. It's just gonna be a little annoying. I'm gonna have to wait a little bit. Okay, now the goal is to, he's going to transform when he hits 800 HP, and I want him to transform in the lance range. So if I let him charge through and then hold out my lance, I can continue hitting him when he transforms and basically instant kill him.
Oh, wonderful.
So that was actually really well executed right there. So now the jungle grows relentless, so that means we can find a Plantera bulb. So let me pick up everything and craft everything, and then we will make our way over to Plantera. Oh, we actually got pretty good rolls. Let me pick up a little bit of wood. I'm just going to look on the map to see if I find bulb on map. I likely will not. All right, now I'm going to log here, rejoin, and then I'm going to, you guys won't be able to see this, but I'm going to be using a third-party program to basically scan the entire map. This is generally cheating, but since I'm on a pretty big time restraint right now, I just want to find this bulb as fast as possible. And unfortunately, yeah, this bulb is very RNG. It can just be in the absolute worst place possible. And honestly, I wouldn't put it past it at this point with what I've gotten in terms of RNG. It's in a very good spot, so we're fine. I would have actually found this normally. Good. All right, so we're gonna do what we did to get over to the jungle the first time. We're gonna do a quick little chicken teriyaki over. Oh, we just dodged that. Don't you love this? Like, it's so cool.
Like I said, because being a bird in the sky and that happens, is like no one is gonna believe me when I tell them this. Also,
so this bulb's actually in a really good location. So how the bulb works is it like picks a spot and then it scans up for like the first available location. And that means it likes to be above temple for the most part. So that's why I kind of cleared out the jungle temple area and looked above it a little bit just so I could see if it spawned right away. And unfortunately, I didn't. Want pizza? That's a good drop. That's a rare drop. Unfortunately, I didn't clear all the way up, but I believe it's up. I think having the map open would make you be able to find it instantly still, but yeah, here it is. It's right above temple, so I just scanned. Since temple is technically not available, but it probably picked a spot on temple, it scanned all the way up and went up here. So with this, we're going to be kind of doing the same method as we were doing for the mechanical bosses. Do I have enough wire? Oh, I do. I was being very careful with wire because I didn't think I had enough for a second. But this one's going to be more automatic, which is nice. Because we're going to be using a pressure plate. So basically, every time that we bounce over this pressure plate, it's going to teleport us to the other one. So, yeah, if you did not like how the mech fight looked, this one's going to be a lot worse. So I do actually really recommend a seizure warning for this one. So if you're sensitive to flashiness, I really want to work with this. Fight. We're going to destroy this. Summon Plantera. She actually spawned in a very nice location. I'm going to get on this rail. I'm going to get her right in between and then start speeding up. And then since I'm bouncing between each rails at a very fast speed, she doesn't know which way to go, so she kind of just gets stuck in the middle. And I'm able to just dish out a lot of damage without getting hit by her that often.
Can I go ahead and read a donation really quick?
Yes, go ahead.
Awesome. We have a $50 donation from Zoku Bun. I love Gabby. Wishing you a smooth move and best of the new beginnings. Please put 25 of this towards the soft freedom ending and 25 towards Silent Hill 3. Thank you so much, Zoku Bun, for your $50 donation. I just wanted to sneak in and get that because I know this has been a lot of information too. But yes, you bullied a boss by bouncing so fast that she didn't know what to do next.
Oh, we're gonna bully 2 more bosses just like that.
Oh, fantastic!
Kind of in a less way. It's not gonna be with teleporters. We don't actually have to move for these next 2, but we're still gonna be bullying them.
Oh, those are spikes. I didn't.
Okay, this is fine, I think.
Oh no.
I've never had blocks this close to me before. I think this is fine. Yeah, no, it's fine. We're fine. It's a little bit of a awkward positioning for that. Alright, so I am going to have to do slow golem, which I absolutely hate. I like doing fast golem. I'm a speedrunner after all. But I ain't going to tempt fate here.
Right.
Alright, so fast golem is you do this in one shot, but slow golem, we basically do one hand at a time. This means he won't actually do a bunch of laser damage to us, which is very important. Because the main damage source that he does to us is this laser damage. So we're going to kill the arms first, which does a lot of damage to us at the very start. I thought he was going to start high jumping, which would have been bad. Yeah, so I'm going to regen to full. It's basically just like a regen thing. It's weird. Other than that, mouse position right here. Just hold up. And basically, it is a DPS race.
I believe in you.
I hate not having arrow claws.
Oh no. Do you have a pot?
I used it already.
I believe. I still believe.
See, okay, I hate this fight without Pharaoh Claws because Lance is the only weapon in this game that is not affected by auto swing, which basically auto puts out your next weapon or your like next attack. Yeah, for whatever reason, Lance is not affected by this. So I have to manually re-put out every single Lance thing as soon as I take damage because the Lance retracts as soon as you take damage. So it's very annoying the time. And that is embarrassing and honestly completely average for me at the same time.
So I actually had a follow-up about that because it looked like the boss still died afterwards, right? So does that still count?
That's just him despawning.
Oh, I got excited for a second. I was gonna say, well, at least he died, but no, he actually did come out with maximum bully energy.
I'm gonna make this easier on myself. I'm like hardcore cheating at this point, but I am trying to finish this run at this point with a reasonable amount of time.
I mean, it's all good because we had lots of good luck stuff, and then we had really bad luck.
I mean,
stuff.
my time estimate would have been fine if I just didn't get the
Eclipse.
like even with that death, if I didn't get the eclipse. The eclipse is basically the pure reason this run is coping right now. So I just have to retry that. Thankfully, you technically have like a bunch of tries as long as you have these power cells, which I have. But this time, I'm actually going to, get the... I'm gonna get the item that basically makes this fight free before I go. If I just went up here, it would have been so easy. Oh, look at that. Best item in the game.
Oh.
Just like that. That golem fight would have been 10 times easier. Alright. Now I gotta nab this all again, do all the fun stuff, and then do that exact fight over.
But this time with the things that make it easier.
Yes.
It's just a showcase at that point. You were showing two versions of the fight.
Yeah, I'm still not doing fast golem. And now it's really annoying that I had to pop a pot there. Am I really waiting for it? No, I have to wait 45 seconds. Actually, no, I don't, because I'm not being fast. I made extra stuff. See how the lance just instantly goes out as soon as I take damage with claws? That is like the big thing about claws. Because otherwise you have to time it or you have to spam lance, and like if you spam lance, it doesn't get as much DPS in. Oh, he's high jumping. I made a mistake. Are you gonna fix that? Oh, you are. How kind of you.
It's very considerate.
Sometimes he just starts high jumping. There's nothing you can do about it. So you'll see his HP just decrease at a much higher rate than when I don't have claws. As you can see, the lance just goes out and immediately starts hitting him again. Like, I haven't even popped my health potion pot yet, and it's like I have the amount of HP that I had last time. Much easier.
Oh yeah, it's much cleaner. GG's.
Alright, we got basically 2 bosses left at this point. That. I'm not gonna random TP to it. Okay, now the reason we did the main reason we did Skeletron earlier is because we needed to make room for Cultists, which is who I'm going to be fighting next. It is also going to be done with the lance. Surprise, surprise! It is just a very strong weapon when you when you bounce on rails and go burr.
Talking to everyone. This just in, more dots. I guess in that case it's not dots though. It's still lots of damage.
Gonna make a little area above me. And this is up for right. Kill this guy. Cultist spawns, and we're gonna get on this rail. Cultist is sadly a little bit out of reach of us when we're just on this bottom rail, so we have to make this like weird contraption where we can go up here and then we go down and then up. So every time he's about to cycle to a new attack, he tries to port above you. So we go back down and then we go up so we can attack him again. It's a very interesting fight. What is this? Ow. Alright, so we want to do Stardust first, which is on a good side. It's right next to us. So basically, this is everybody's most hated part of the game. If you've ever completed Terraria, most people just hate pillars. I'm with you. Pillars kind of sucks. The one nice thing is we actually have a cheese for every single type of pillar. So if you hate any of these pillars in particular, we have a cheese for you. This one involves going high up in the air and getting a star cell to spawn. And then, yeah, we're just going to be doing this. You can also just hide in a hole and shoot a weapon upwards, and it does the same thing. But these guys technically just rapidly infinitely multiply. So as long as you don't kill these little guys, they will eventually turn into the big cells again, and then you can kill them. And just continuously do this. And I'm basically invincible. These star cells can never hit me anymore, which is very nice. And then you can hit the pillars from afar. You have to, as you can see, there's like a little shield. You have to kill 100 of these guys before you can start attacking the pillar. And then once you attack the pillar, or once the 100 of them are killed, you can attack the pillar. And once the pillar is dead, like, they stop spawning. And you can attack the pillar outside of, like, the actual spawn range of these enemies. And, yeah. This one that we're doing, there's a pillar for each of the 4 major classes. There's Summoner, Range, Melee, and Mage. We are doing the Summoner one first because the weapon that you get from the Summoner, or the Stardust Dragon Staff, is by far just, like, the best generic weapon that you can get. So, yeah. Good reason to choose that. And since I'm positioned right above the pillar, I can just shoot my bow down and just hit the pillar while not being able to be damaged by these star cells because the minecart's hitbox just knocks them away. And then, you know, just fire down, kill the pillar. I'm going to pick up the soul fragments and then go back to Shimmer, or the home base thing that I made at Shimmer, and make a more powerful weapon that will just obliterate the remaining pillars. Hopefully I can do this in a reasonable amount of time at this point.
I believe in you. I still have the faith. I think people in chat also still have the faith.
I got 30, that's good enough. I forgot that I actually don't have a double jump this run, which is a little annoying. You need to go in. We're going to be switching our armor to a full hollow with the summoner damage one, just because like this is what we're just going to be using for our main source of damage the rest of the run. Oh, that's a cross necklace that I can't really get. That's the one item earlier that I was trying to get from a mimic, and of course I get it after I really need it at this point. I probably should have gone and picked it up still, but it's fine. Where's the merchant? I need to buy nanopods. Now we got to go to the next pillar, which is going to be Vortex, which is the Ranger pillar. At this point, it really doesn't matter what order we do the pillars in. I prefer to do Vortex second, just because it's easier for me. And then I can do Solar into immediately Nebula right after, because they're on the same side. So I'm just going to choose to do it this way. This Vortex is not in a... I'm actually surprised I did that as well as I did. So I made a little spawn box for the enemies to spawn in, and the dragon's kind of just going to go around and like kill everything. Okay, I actually had to think about what I was doing right there. But, that is the scariest part of pillars, in my opinion, is doing that box setup, because enemies can just spawn on you. The Vortex shotgunners do 140 damage, which is a lot for classic mode. And then, yeah. All about dragon just doing its thing.
Like, there's just so many things that just turn this into a Lovecraftian nightmare that I didn't expect.
Yeah, this is why everybody hates pillars.
Like,
it is a nightmare. Enemies do way too much damage. There's just a bunch of them everywhere, and even the cheeses are somewhat inconsistent. To be fair, I'm doing a really risky version of the cheese. There's a much safer option that I could do. I'm just obviously trying to go fast at this point, so it's fine. I missed a set, but it's fine. Shoddy. I'm actually gonna reforge that. All right, 2 more pillars at this point. Almost done. It is like really annoying that I don't have a double jump, but it's fine. I go right above the pillar again. Make a little platform. Go up in the air. And then fire down. The reason most people are probably a little confused of what I'm doing to prevent a lot of enemies from like hitting me or firing at me. I'm basically hooking to a platform and then block replacing that platform with a block. This puts my hitbox in the block, making it so enemies don't have line of sight of me, so they kind of just don't fire projectiles at you anymore. It's a very interesting mechanic, and one that's probably heavily debated about whether or not it's a major abuse, but it makes pillar strats like these work, and it's interesting enough to be in the run. So that is Solar. Probably, I think people probably hate Solar the most casually.
do all the meteorites and other stuff that's like coming down have a chance to hit you too? Because if so, I get it.
The ones that can go through walls, well, technically every enemy can hit me if they hit like come into contact with me, but only the flying ones can actually get up to me, and they generally just get either instant killed by my phantasm or my bow weapon, or the dragon kind of just deals with them naturally. So everything just instant dies. I'm gonna do this way over here because there's a floating island. And I know that island's going to be really annoying with spawns. I hate how I don't. I keep trying to like double kill. So this is a great example of like the block replace. These little floater guys, or the brain ones that are just charging at me, they will just stand still and try to fire a laser at you if they have line of sight of you, but when they don't, they just like charge at you, and this is kind of a broken part of their AI. There's another configuration of this that you can do where they think they have line of sight of you, but there are blocks in the way where they can't actually fire at you. I think that one's used in master mode over this one because this one's more of a DPS check of like, oh, they teleport and charge at you, but the phantasm has enough damage to be able to kill them before they actually get to you. So it's a little good things for difference between different difficulties. Can I just hit this from here? I can. I'm not gonna risk this.
Wait, is the pillar just over on the left side there hanging out?
Yeah, you can see it. I have the map overlaid, so you can see the bottom left, the nebula pillar, so I can estimate like how far high I have to aim to be able to hit it. And I can see the HP just dropping, so I know I'm hitting it.
Yeah.
And with that, Moonlord is approaching, but instead of letting the actual, we would normally have to wait a full minute for him to spawn. If I get enough fragments and then do something, okay, I need to log.
While you're doing that, we did just get another donation to come in. We have a $64 donation from Sabira that says, oh, well, I'm not saying I want to support Gabby and also see Root Run Metroid Dread, but I want to support Gabby and also see Root Run Metroid Dread. And I did want to make sure, Sabira, I wanted to make sure that you saw that this is like a 2-for-1 incentive because the $64 will automatically go towards Metroid Dread. And then you can also put that $64 towards the Silent Hill, the faux ending, or you could put it towards the bid war for Saw the Game for the truth or the freedom ending. I always want to double check because I know that a lot of people are excited about Metroid Dread. That is the big milestone for the day where when we hit $2,500 in donations, we will get there. Oh my gosh, I just realized too that we're
at Moonlord, unfortunately, is kind of a joke of a boss. We kind of just sit still, heal at nurse, and then have the dragon and use the daybreak to kill him. He's a very quick fight. The only worry is these tries that do actually do quite a bit of damage. So as long as I'm constantly healing, I should be fine. And yeah, that is Moonlord. That is Terraria. Unfortunately, a little bit lucky and a little bit unlucky, so it was a little slow. But that is Terraria. Time ends now. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the playthrough. Honestly, it was a slow walk because I'm just going to keep talking about how annoying that solar eclipse was. I won't stop yapping about it.
That eclipse was rude. That was rude.
It was rude. Yeah,
Oh.
so I mean that is the Terraria Classic. There's a bunch of different categories if you don't have the time commitment to do the full 1 hour. There are a bunch of shorter categories that do play through a vast majority of the game still. So if you are interested in Terraria speedrunning, hit up the Terraria speedrunning Discord. You can find that on speedrun.com. There's a bunch of guys that will answer your questions and help you out. But yeah, other than that, I appreciate inviting me here. Appreciate you guys watching, and hope you continue to support Blackheart Wings marathon event.
Of course, and thank you so much for showing up, Terraria. I don't know about the rest of the chat, but I learned a ton here, and I learned that just like Mega Man and Bass, I'm not built for it. I'm also not built for doing a speedrun of Terraria because I didn't even know you could build a house. So there you go. Thank you so much for coming out and helping Gabby with fundraising for her Boston fund It is greatly appreciated. And oh, it looks like we have a donation that just walked in. We have a hold on a second. We have a $500 donation that came in from Possum saying, let's finish off that incentive. Possum, thank you so much for the generosity and the $500 donation. Okay, well, I guess we're going to be playing some Metroid Dread at the end of the evening. I guess we're going to be playing some Metroid heckin' dang Dread at the end of the evening. Good job, gamers. Oh my god. Thank you so. Oh my god. I love your energy of coming in chat too, just being like, sup. TheHaboo, thank you again. It is a 100% appreciated. Thank you for supporting Gabby, showing off your run. May you enjoy a Terraria run in the future that is eclipseless and not rude. I am hoping for that for you. We blessed the run and they said absolutely not, but that is okay. We are going to go ahead and take a small break and get ready for our next run, which is going to be Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. I unfortunately am going to take a moment to take that break as well because as much as I don't like to admit it, I am a person and I need to stretch and also maybe do a heckin' dang bio break. And I bet you a lot of y'all need to do some bio breaks and stuff too. Again, it's !donate in chat to donate towards Blackheart Wings Boston Marathon run. And when we come back, we're going to go through some more incentives because I'm getting word through the pipeline that maybe or maybe not, we're going to have another incentive that's opening up. So I'll be back here with y'all in just a moment.